Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for checking out my video today. What I'm going to be talking about today is what are some good Fiverr gigs you can offer, and what types of Fiverr gigs should you offer. A, that are going to appeal to people, B, that are going to make you money, and C, things that are not going to take too much time and aren't going to require a bunch of back and forth revisions. So that's basically what the video today is about. For those of you who aren't yet members of Fiverr, I highly recommend checking it out. Whether you have an interest to be on there as a buyer or a seller. And one other thing, if you look in the description box below, I'm going to put a link. It's a referral link for a free gig when you sign up. So if you're not already a Fiverr member, or a Fiverr member, I guess member would be the right word. If you click that link and sign up through the link, you'll get a free gig, which is basically a free $5.50 to spend on anything you like, whether it's one of my gigs you want to buy, or whether you want to buy some graphic design gig or whatever else from somebody else. So let's get into the meat and potatoes, what this video is about. I like to offer gigs that are pretty concrete and straightforward. So what do I mean by that? A gig like logo design, like I'll make you a logo. That's something that's very open to interpretation. I could make a fantastic logo and spend 2 hours on it, and the buyer may say, that sucks, I don't like it, or that's not the look I was going for, and then you got to start all over and do the review again, or do the logo again. And maybe when you do the logo the second time, they say, hey, you know, I really like kind of the direction you took this time, but could you change the font to something, you know, funner looking, and could you change that color to green? And I mean, small stuff like that isn't a huge headache, but when you offer gigs that are more kind of creative related and open to interpretation or style or whatever, you kind of open yourself up to unhappy buyers, people wanting to cancel. When you cancel gigs, it negatively affects your account or affects your rating, which in turn affects you in search. So you want to avoid canceled gigs. But when you have things like, I'll write you an article, I'll design a logo, you really kind of leave yourself open to people saying, I'm not really happy with that. And also those types of gigs, in my opinion, take a lot more time. You can offer creative gigs and have them be more straightforward. So here's an example. You've probably seen those like intros to YouTube videos. So maybe your favorite YouTuber, like before their video starts, there's like a light bulb that starts glowing, and then all of a sudden the light bulb smashes, and left in kind of the trail of glow is their logo or something like that. They're called video intros or YouTube video intros. And they're really cool. They kind of add some professionalism to your channel. They kind of brand your channel, and it's kind of a cool thing to do. Well, you could offer gigs two ways. You could say, I'll make you a intro for your video based on the subject of the video. And so someone who plays music on their thing might have a guitar guy spinning around and then leave the logo trailing. Someone who does business type videos may do something kind of more generic, like a meteor crashing and leaving the logo. But when you do something that's just, okay, based on your niche, I'll make you an intro. Well, they may say, oh, I don't really like that intro. Do you have anything else like this? And it basically leads to a lot of work. The way I would suggest setting up the gig is basically you show 3 examples. Basically, people don't get a choice in terms of let me choose your thing. Maybe you offer a package of 3 or 5, because I think anytime you offer multiple options or deliver multiple things for one gig, people like it, people are going to buy from you, it builds loyalty. But rather than leaving it open to the customer to tell you, I want this or that, what you're going to do is just say, you're basically going to post your 3 examples, and you're always going to want to use Fiverr.com as kind of the sample or the example. So it could be something like, meteor crashing, exploding in Fiverr.com. You could have another one that's like stars in the sky, and then it says Fiverr.com. You could have the light bulb exploding with Fiverr.com. And have 3 examples as your thing, and then basically say, when you buy the gig, you're going to get these 3 intros with your logo. By doing it this way, your customers know exactly what they're getting right from the outset. They know they're getting a meteor, a stars, and a light bulb explosion. They know they can either choose to use their text or a logo. And one thing I would suggest doing with a gig like this, give them the option of doing either text or their logo, and then as a gig extra for $5 extra, if the gig is for, the text of their channel or whatever, For $5 extra, I can also do this with your logo. Or if the gig is for the logo, for $5 extra, I can do it with just a text. Something like that's a really cool gig. It doesn't really leave anything open to interpretation, and it's a really easy gig to do. When people make those video intros, yeah, some people will like do it from scratch and actually create everything and do all the artwork themselves, but majority of the people have a software program, and basically all they have to do is plug in your, there might be 100 different examples of intros that you can choose from. So when you buy the gig from me, all I have to do is plug in your name. For my channel, for example, it'd be Rules for Rebels. So I just type in the words Rule for Rebels and then hit preview, and all of a sudden I have the meteor crashing and Rules for Rebels is left behind. I mean, it's literally just plug and play. There's really no creativity. There's really no work to be done. It's basically just type in name or upload the logo, preview it, submit it. It's going to download a file for you, and you send that file to your customer. So it's a very, very easy gig to do. It doesn't take very much time at all. And because it doesn't take much time, you can really package these. And I'll give you 5 intros for $5. So basically, they're paying $1 an intro. Really good deal. They're getting a couple variations of an intro they can use on their channel, and those gigs sell really well. A lot of the guys, not even the top sellers, but just pretty much most people who are offering those gigs have, you know, 17 positive feedbacks, or some of them are even in the thousands, like 1,100, 900, blah, blah, blah. So I think those are really good gigs to offer. Review gigs are really good. Check Fiverr's terms of service, because there are rules about, I think Fiverr prohibits Yelp gigs from being sold. That doesn't really stop people from selling them. I see Fiverr's flooded with people selling Yelp reviews, but for some reason Yelp reviews are against the terms of service. I'm guessing Yelp probably contacted Fiverr complaining, and maybe Fiverr added to the terms of service that they're not going to allow Yelp reviews to be sold. But like I said, it's really not stopping people from selling them. Review ones are really good. SEO type gigs, I'll give you so many. If you have a program or know how to do backlinks, you know, I'll give you 50 PR9 backlinks for $5. I'll give you 5,000 backlinks for $5. The backlink gigs are really easy. You really kind of got to be kind of smart with SEO, or have some type of software that makes backlinks and things like that to be able to offer a gig like this. But if you look into it, it's pretty easy to do. The software isn't crazy expensive, and those gigs don't take very much time at all. After you submit the backlinks, you'll be basically given a report of where the backlinks were left. You provide that report to the customer to let them know they got their 5,000 backlinks or whatever it is. And that's also not a gig that's really open to interpretation. You know, either I left you the 5,000 backlinks or I didn't. I provided you a full report showing I did. There's really nothing open to interpretation. There's no requests for revisions to the gig, because it's clear cut that I delivered that gig. One gig that I'm offering right now, it hasn't sold well, but it is from the amount of effort needed to do it, it is a good gig. One of my gigs is I will ping your website to over 1,400 sites. For those of you guys who don't know about pinging, basically it's just sending sort of like sending a bot, I guess you could say, out to all these sites. What's the purpose of pinging a website? When you put up a new blog post or add a new product to your website, or add pretty much any content to your website, it takes Google and other search engines a while to crawl that and then realize, okay, there's something new here. Should we add that to the search engine? When you ping your website, you'll generally do it, I mean, you can do it at any time, but you generally want to do it after you've added some new content, and it'll basically let all the search engines, somewhat like, it's not a backlink, but it's sort of the same concept of a backlink, I guess in a way. But it's basically letting the search engines know, there's new content here, come crawl this. There's new content here, come crawl this. And by doing that, you're ideally going to get your backlinks indexed faster, which means they're going to show up on Google and other search engines faster, and you're going to get organic traffic that way. So that one hasn't sold really well. I think I've sold a couple of them. That one hasn't sold really well for me, but it's a gig I really like. I feel like it adds a lot of value to the customer. It takes me probably less than 5 minutes to do, which I also like. I like gigs that are easy and don't take a ton of time. And again, it's something that's not really open to interpretation. Either I gave you those or I didn't. There's not really a, oh, can you revise this for me? I'm trying to think if there's any. Actually, we're kind of coming up on 10 minutes here, so I'll cut this video off. If you like the video, give me a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. Check back on my channel for new videos. I'm trying to post pretty frequently. Thanks for watching, guys.